We can do yours
Oh,
first.
okay.
There's Lunsford's head in there. I turned the stream on.
I can redeem myself.
Toby, I turned it on.
What?
The stream is on.
Oh, you're live now. Hold on.
Yeah, you got
Great.
Lunsford floating head of darkness.
The floating head of
Where do you
death.
want him to go? Where do you
I
want
want
him to be?
Can
Put
you
him
move
right in
him,
between there, so I'm
move
like
him-
hanging out.
move him throughout the entire show and put him as a black cloud above each of our heads at different points?
Okay, let me see how I can get my thing. Okay, check the chat out. I get the shot done. I just thought I would turn it on while we're setting up here.
Let me get my readers.
There you go. Let's see if I can. I'll just make myself. I'll just go small head too, but I'll be square.
Why don't you just make you and Lunsford big over us? That meets the. You just like it.
Well, it just looks better this way. The environment makes more sense. If I could just do that.
In between us.
Make yourself a little wider. Like there's a weird
that's
black
funny.
space at the top, isn't there?
Yeah,
Is that-
hold on. I'll get it.
Yeah, just do you on one side and Lester on the other side. Why is he like rounded corners and you're straight corners?
I can make it either way.
I mean, you gotta
Lunsford
stick
ain't
with
got no
stick with
edge.
a flow here.
I know.
Lunsford, how much weight have you lost?
This morning it was
shit.
6 pounds.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's good.
going for 52.
52. Wow.
52
you-
69 days.
And you will weigh what if you lose 52 pounds?
199.
Wow. I'm trying to go to 190.
I got big.
I got big. Yeah, I got big.
I went
What's
so
up?
hard the week before. Like I really did. Like I went real
Yeah.
hard.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, like I was the heaviest I've ever been. I think I was pushing 220. I'm trying to get back down to 185.
Yeah, Devin and I weighed the exact same. I was 219.
Yeah.
Man.
I told these guys on a BC podcast, but the night before we started, we ate all kind of stuff that day. I think that day you came over
Yeah.
and we got Chinese food and all. That
Yeah, but
stuff.
that,
I just felt so swollen and bloated.
but that was
Yeah.
the day we went to 10 fast food restaurants.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we also went to 10 fast food restaurants that morning. And
Which don't give it away, but you'll get to see it
Yeah.
tonight,
and then
folks.
And then that night, I can't remember what you were over here for some reason, and we got Chinese food
Yeah.
as our final meal. And when I laid down in bed that night, I felt like, oh my god, I felt like a different person.
Yeah.
I was like, this is bad.
Can't do it.
So I'm
I-
so much better.
I had a huge box of fried rice the last night.
Yeah.
Just it weighed like 4 pounds. Like when I got, I couldn't believe it. It was insane.
That's what I ate pork fried rice. It was
Yeah.
so good. I hadn't had it
Yeah.
in forever.
It's just sitting in my belly. Well, we got some people up in the stream here. We got
a few folks.
we got 138
the
Zuckerbergs.
Zuckerbergs are here. Well,
100
hello, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerbergs are always out on Tuesday. Twitch only got 38. Twitch, they're more the cool crowd. They show up later.
They loved it when we were on Sundays.
They like Sundays for some
Twitch
reason.
crowd has to go to work tomorrow.
I'm so far from the computer tonight.
I know.
I cannot read
I got my
Uh-oh.
readers on. I can't.
words. I have to like lean forward.
that makes you look pretty old, I guess.
I can't help it.
Let me see
Toby
what.
can't.
Let's see if I can read something. Emory Music.
We're trying to get.
Yeah, I can't
spaced
read
out.
anything. I cannot. I mean, I'm very blind. It's unbelievable. I think I'm legally blind now. Like I was thinking about it today. If I would have been born earlier in life, I would have been like just a like. When did they really have glasses decent? What century or
Like when did they make
like
them?
1300s, 1400s, 1500s, something like that?
I don't
Man,
even
was it-
know.
whatever the 50 years before that, I would have been like a homeless person begging the blind. I would have been the blind guy. That's Toby the blind man.
Yeah.
Tells jokes for money. That would've
Wasn't
been
it
my
like
life.
Ben Franklin invented something with the glasses, right?
Spectacles.
Yeah.
Bifocals or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what those are.
Maybe bifocal.
What did they have before that? Focal?
I don't know. I don't like talking about it. It's very patriarchal what he did with those glasses.
Yeah, but me and Toby are at the point that our eyes are already bad. like normal vision is really bad. Now our bifocal, what they call that? What's your whatever your near side is you can't see far side you can't see close. So now we're getting to where we have to hold the menus far away.
Yeah.
And all that. It's just bad. I mean, the optometrist said it's inevitable. I mean, everybody, when you hit like 40, 41, 42 years old, it just starts happening. It's just normal. So there's not much I can do.
Luckily for me, I made it through I made it to 2020 in December. It's all over anyway. So if my eyes can just make it a few more, you can almost say weeks, but we'll say a few more months. I mean, there will be something unbelievable that ends the world, right? We all agree on that?
Yeah.
Devin, you think December after Christmas? Will we make it to
Well,
Christmas?
I think December 31st seems right.
Yeah, I don't think there will be a January 1st, 2021.
No.
So you might as well tip your ass off tonight to Emory, to the AYL show, right?
Yeah.
What do you need? What are you going to save your money for?
I mean, right. Well, right. The only thing there is to bet on is the world end at what? Election, Halloween,
Right.
New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like, you just have the choices. It's one of those.
I don't know. I mean, election's probably the best bet at this point in time.
It's gonna be bad.
It's
gonna be really bad.
It's going to be really bad. There's no hope of the election night being a joyful event, no matter what happens. And won't it be a lot of like
energy? There'll be a lot of energy.
No, you won't know that night. Won't it be a few days? Probably.
It'll just be a tense night. And then it'll be tense, and then
there's going to be people who are
there'll be cycles of tensity
extremely
after
worried.
that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all leading up to it, and I mean, they're going to be just destroyed with anxiety.
Yeah.
You remember the last election? It was more like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, like Trump? What? Trump can't win. That's crazy. And then he won, and it was like, what? It was more like a joke.
Yeah, it was funny.
Now it's like
so
life
fun
or
to
death.
watch.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
I remember I watched it till like 3 a.m. and I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, and the anchors on all the TV stations were just like in shock. Like they didn't even know how to
literally
cover
in shock.
But they won't be this time though.
No.
It won't be that way this time. It won't be fun. It won't be funny. I mean, if something will be funny, I'm sure we'll find something funny somewhere. But the anchors won't be caught flat-footed, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it'll just be like game time all the time. It'll be just everybody game face, everybody.
Yeah.
You know
All
what
right,
I'm saying?
if you guys all had to say right now, you had to place a bet who wins the election.
I said on the podcast that I think Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people who are scared or worried or silent. There really is a such thing as that silent majority, and I don't know. I mean, it says Biden. I saw it today. He's up 20 points, and I think Biden is a joke candidate. Nobody should vote for him. He's just too old. He might even be a nice guy, but it's just too old. Let's get a real candidate. Same with Trump. But I think if Biden wins, it'll be maybe okay. I think if Trump wins, could be chaos, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't even know if Trump cares about winning. I really don't.
I hope he
know.
doesn't. I mean, I think that's our best off ramp is he gets what he wants.
Right.
But that's what they say. If he thinks he's going to go to jail, then he can't take the off ramp.
Yeah.
So he might want to loosen up on that jail thing and just go our separate way.
Yeah.
I think he will win. I would say I know he will win. And I've been saying for 4 years that all the left had to do was not act crazy.
Yeah.
Like just not be crazy for these 4 years and it would be okay. And it's just been insanity for 4 years.
Well, this year especially, I feel like
crazy.
it's ramped up so much past 8 months. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, if there had been a better candidate for the Democratic Party, and if this year wasn't absolutely insane, I think they would have won.
Right.
But I just feel like it's
I feel like
gone.
if it would have been Bernie or any of the other Pete
Bernie
Buttigieg,
or Yang,
anybody,
yeah,
even
you don't feel like
even Kamala, if she would have just had, you would at least say, okay, I can understand this. But because of Biden, it seems like it's just the Democratic convention or Democrats pulling some strings to have almost a puppet leader there. And on the other side, everybody, what's so funny is everybody hates Trump. Even the Republicans hate him, but they're just like, there's nothing you can, somehow he keeps winning. I mean, it's absurd that he can win.
Well, there's some people, the far right, that really like him. I mean, they really like him. Like to the point that they think he's maybe one of the best presidents in history.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It's certain if you like Trump that much, you definitely do not think there's a pandemic, right? Zero pandemic.
No,
like
you
if you're
There's
that
not
much
one.
of a Trump fan, there is no pandemic. Like,
Or it
at
doesn't
all.
matter at all.
Right. No way.
All right, let's move away from politics. What are we
started the
doing
show.
tonight?
We used to play music at the beginning of the show. Are you listening?
Yeah, that's long gone.
Lunsford, can you sing a song? Oh, you know what would be great? Is there any way, Lunsford, you could start the show with one of the worship songs that you know?
I don't have a guitar.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. to do it.
Devin and I went to the corn maze like farm pumpkin patch thing this weekend with our families, and it was Christian.
Yeah.
And so over and over they played "You Are the Everlasting God."
Yeah. The 90s hits, man.
You will not, I mean, some of the 90s worship songs will never go away. It must have been the greatest songs ever in the history of the world for Christianity.
Eventually, they'll be considered the same as hymns.
Yeah.
Like to
you're
the
right.
generations
You're
beyond.
right. 100 years from now, you are the they'll just sing it like in a hymnal.
For some reason, every year on the way to Cornerstone, once we got close in Illinois and we'd be like drinking in the van or whatever, getting close to being there, I would just get Cody's guitar and start singing worship songs. But, I'd do it like the old school wedding singer guy where you just put in dirty words like in the middle, which I know everybody's done that, but it doesn't matter how many times you do it. It's funny.
I know.
The idea of praising God and just cursing up a storm.
I know. Just letting it slide in there.
Yeah, it's just so good.
All right. What are we doing here, Matt? You going to take us away?
Well, we got a big show, everybody. It's we have tonight one new thing we're doing, or an improvement you could say, is Devin Toby now in the same room and with a 3-channel mixer, so they both have their own mic and the guitars plugged in. And so
by Alan and Heath.
Yes, so when we do those one takes, they sound really good because they get captured and replayed. Tonight, the limit is they're coming across Skype over here to me and then up to you guys. So they're greatly limited by the Skype audio quality, but at least they're mixed together. So we have a new camera for them that's really good, and going to get the audio fixed eventually to where they're broadcasting from there, so they'll be able to do more and more, build a little bit of a hub there, so they'll have a better space to do a full quality in that way. So we'll get that reversed from who hosts, and then I think it'll be even better. But that's one improvement tonight. So they're going to do 2 songs live. Lunsford's not doing any worship songs, correct?
I'm sorry.
So, but you're going to hang out and talk shit and tell a story or two.
Yeah, I got some tour stories.
Tour stories.
Got good tour stories.
And y'all can mess with, this is Lunsford from S City's Burn if you don't.
Hawk Boy.
You didn't catch that from Hawk Boy, yeah. So.
I just want to acknowledge, I know that people would prefer Cody to be here, but
just acknowledge
every time
that is so true, though.
I know. Every time
it really is true. If Cody was here from S City's Burn instead of Aaron Lunsford from S City's Burn, people would, we'd already been in $2,000 in tips already.
And he'd play music, and it'd be great, and
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. Y'all don't even talk anymore, do you?
We were at the beach together a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That counts.
That does count.
Okay, so we do have test presses tonight, right?
Yes. So we got 2 weeks left. I don't want to oversell anything, so we're gonna do just one top tipper tonight.
Okay.
Okay. One top tipper.
There will only be one top tipper. Gets
one
a test
tonight
press.
You should go. You better start tipping.
Yeah, one tonight, and we'll probably do one next week, but maybe some additional prizes for the last week of I'm Only a Man or something like that. So yeah, tonight top tipper gets an Only a Man test press signed by me and Toby because we live in the same town.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it signed.
No. Okay. So, And that's of I'm Only a Man vinyl. You can pick it up. You get it. We're in the middle of that. We have a song from that. Nickel Slick tonight, and then we'll be off to Crib to Coffin for next week, assuming that it can be done in a week. It's such an epic
adventure. That's going to be a big one. Speaking of that, Devin and I went and shot some footage for the video that will be going along with Crib to Coffin. Now, I will give a little teaser. Devin challenged me. He said, maybe one scene in this, I have to really cry, and see if I can get everybody really watching.
Really,
I have to go there. I have to go there.
I think you can do it.
I have to think about Aaron Lunsford's first marriage ending.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That kind of sorrow.
I didn't know you.
That joy.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. It never legally happened. It was annulled.
It was annulled. That's true. You're an annulment.
Well, what songs are you guys going to play before that? And we have a special video tonight that was produced by Devin and Toby. I don't know who directed it, if they fight over the title or not. You going to be co-directors or?
Yeah, we'll be co-directors.
Yeah,
like you just keep it. Just like in the band, how you sing where nobody can tell the difference in which one's singing, right?
Yeah. No, I can't ever. How in the world can people not tell mine and your voice apart?
I don't know.
You don't know how many times I've been told, I didn't know y'all had two singers. Like, how could you not?
What
were you thinking? What in the world? You have what is wrong with your ears? I can hear differences. You don't hear differences?
Yeah, I mean, for the video tonight, we won't give too much away, but we'll be called co-directors and maybe co-eaters.
Yeah,
we'll
co-eaters.
Call it that this week.
Let's just say we just started the BC 69 health challenge, and so the day before that health challenge, we went and ate some stuff.
Yeah, you'll find out.
You'll find out.
All right, we're gonna play a couple of reimagined type versions of songs tonight.
I hope I can remember the lyrics.
We'll see. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was never going to fall, but the smiling face is still my fate. So sweet, an addict of it all, was blind for another day. I have nothing left to give, these veins are dry, you drain me dry. The world has turned black and cold, and I can't catch my breath. You rehearsed your lines with rhythmic detail. They match the pounding in my chest. Then summer came, and you left me with your words, a careless sound from your mouth. It can make me feel so worthless, and you say that I am not enough. No, my heart is breaking open. Know that I will not be broken. The person you claim to be is not who haunts me now. The careless lies behind those brown eyes that you swore were true more times than I can count. Is it summer came, and you left me with your words, and careless sounds from your mouth. It can make me feel so worthless, and you say that I am not enough. No, my heart is breaking open. Know that I will not be broken. I know these words are weak and no, spoken as I come undone. So while I drown in these mistakes, your ego swells, but I can tell you know that you're a fake. You cried in front of your friends just to save some face. You didn't want it to end. Just a week I'm replaced. But can you hear me
whoa! Here comes the fire emojis right there.
Fire emoji.
Hype train,
Yeah.
fire, hype train.
Did not. Yes. Yeah. That's the good. You got to. Sometimes you got to warm up with the fire before the tips loosen up.
That's right.
Something I've learned. But say when you get, sometimes you get these big old pyramids of fire, waving through. But I think some people are not doing the fire emojis because obviously the fires. So.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little.
I mean,
little
anybody that's
sensitive
put
right
a
now.
fire emoji in here,
you
I
can't
think
do a
that's-
fire emoji because of the forest fires.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
anybody who's done it here, I think you should really be.
There's, oh, wait,
Might
we
should
looked
have
at
thought about
politically
that.
correct emojis.
That's, I mean,
I guess you're right.
imagine. I mean, how would you like it if somebody's blowing up your Twitch chat with fire when you just fire at
Yeah.
your house?
Yeah,
Did you find it funny? I don't think so. But you
I guess
didn't think
people have
about it.
PTSD from it. They see a fire emoji and it takes them back to the
Right.
fire.
You didn't think about that, but maybe you will next time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I apologize to all the people from California. I just want to say
Oregon.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize Oregon. Yeah, the whole West Coast. Everybody's leaving the West Coast anyway. They'll be living here in Champaign, Illinois soon. I know. It was really
Yeah, that's
funny.
true.
Like we really do. Besides the cold, we really do like it here a lot. And I was like, you know what? I said I could see people moving here, like just because it's a cool town and coming out of Chicago or something like that. And Jess was like, I hope they don't. I don't want this place to stay just like it is.
You've been there 2 weeks. That's what newcomers coming.
But
she's
she's
from
the
the
newcomer.
Midwest and she loves it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
She's new though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New.
She closed the door behind her when she got there.
Oh yeah.
That's good enough.
That was the cutoff right there.
Do you guys think? I mean, do you think that? I mean, because Lunsford, you live in Nashville, Matt in Seattle. I mean, have you guys considered moving, and has anything that's currently happening affected that thought process at all? Like pandemic wise, and just whatever, everything.
I mean, it's definitely some of the stuff that makes the city. I think the way people see it on the news and stuff, they think it's worse than it is. Just like people think hurricanes and
right.
stuff. It's just the way it is. But so people are more worried about me than I would be about the city or anything in that way. But most of the things that make it worth the price of admission in a major city, you don't really get to engage in. So that feels way different. Like on the cost benefit analysis for what you get in proximity and walking distance and the synergy of having people around and all that kind of stuff is, that value isn't there. So I think it's a big one.
When's the last time you guys went downtown just to kind of hang out?
Oh, no.
Just no.
You
hadn't even been down there.
I went down near there and it was scary.
Scary.
And I didn't go back.
Just because the riots or the protests or something, or you just think 'cause of the pandemic?
No, it's just it's trashy. I mean, there's more.
Really?
There's more. It's a little more like Back to the Future too.
Really?
Little more.
So it's becoming a little bit more like a downtown LA kind of became. Not that bad, obviously.
Dan
but
Coke is Biff.
Yeah, Dan Coke is Biff. Yeah, right. It's a little more that way down in there. Like Third Avenue. Wasn't. It's just there's no reason to be there. So there's
no
people that
real
are there,
life
but
there
they don't
right now.
have. It's not commerce and stuff really.
What
I mean,
about
it's
you,
no-
Lunsford?
the,
What do you-
the
what do you
buildings
think?
aren't the norm.
Well, we almost moved to Portland right before all this started.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I'm
true.
Crazy.
kind of pretty happy that didn't work out now, looking
Right.
how
Yeah.
everything is. But because Cassie almost got a job promotion there, and instead she got it in Nashville. And I honestly don't like living in Nashville, but I don't know what to do about it. We want to move back to San Diego, but that don't look so good to me now either. Now, 'cause
Yeah.
that's where she's from.
Right.
California is weirding me out. Like I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know.
Something seems worse than it ever. I don't know. 10 years ago, it's like people complained about California for whatever reasons, but I was like, yeah, but it's so nice that I deal with all the bullshit, in order to wake up to
Right.
San Diego.
Right.
Now I'm not so sure. So the more we talk, I could see us trying to look for something like Dallas or Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Somewhere
middle
like
states
that.
are looking prime right now because you
And
can
I
make
like the-
movies and tech anywhere.
And I like those cities too. Like all
Yeah.
the cities
Yeah.
have gotten better.
Yeah.
Like
It's gonna be
25 years
interesting.
ago. Yeah, 25 years ago, Salt Lake wasn't cool, and Dallas
Right.
wasn't that cool. It was they weren't cool places to live, and so now everywhere is just kind of cool. you know, hell, I'd move back to Baton Rouge. I'd be perfectly happy there. So,
Well, maybe if you move to Salt Lake, you can reunite with Colin, and maybe As Cities Burn will.
As Cities Burn too.
I'm scared to reunite with Colin. He's nuts, and his kids are all nuts. They mountain bike and snowboard. They go really hard, and I don't think I could keep up. That sounds terrifying. So I like to ride my bike in the park about 9.4 miles an hour
on a paved road.
Yeah. Barely an incline.
Yep.
Going down. All right. Well, we got Aaron Lunsford here from As Cities Burn, and you said you had some good tour stories, and I was trying to think of some. So Aaron, you were our tour manager for a while. We toured with our bands toured together several times. We've known you now for way over a decade.
Long time, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we met. The first time we met was in that El Cajon parking lot about 20 years ago, or 17 years ago maybe. But it is the 10-year anniversary of me breaking my leg on tour with y'all too.
10?
Is it 10 years already?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
It is.
I mean, that's one of the best tour stories for sure. Not that you have to tell it, but
No, it's the worst day of my life. Toby, I think Toby's still traumatized from that one because Toby wrote
it was a traumatic day.
Every way. Yeah, let Toby tell it. And Aaron can respond.
Well, I was. You know what's really crazy when I think back to it? How my proximity to you and every step of it was. I was the closest person. So Aaron's our tour manager. He sets it up. Hey, all the bands, let's get to Omaha early, and we'll play baseball that day. And we were like, yeah, this will be really fun. And it was. We found this little baseball field, and everybody was ready. Man, it was really fun.
Like the whole tour.
Batting helmets, and we had all the gear. We had catcher's mitt. We collected all this stuff.
Right, we had a show that night, but we still got there early to play baseball. It was really fun. It was like, man, okay, this is really nice because normally you don't get to do that stuff. So I was second base, and you were like shortstop.
I think you were
third.
No, shortstop.
Toby was third base.
I was third.
Yeah.
Okay.
Devin was left field.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so somebody hits the ball, and I'm not close enough to it, and you turn, and I wasn't totally looking at you because I don't remember, but I heard to this day I can hear it still. There's a few things in my life, some accidents that have happened in my life, where I still hear like the car crunching or I promise you, this is the first thought in my head was a small tree just cracked in half. I thought, I was like, a tree just, because I heard like a tree.
Yeah.
It's just old. And I was like, what in the world was that sound? And I mean, you were easily, at least, probably 10 yards from me, something like that. And I heard it. And then you went down on the ground, and and you were like, oh, I think you started screaming. I'm just going to use, for the purposes, if you're watching with kids, go ahead and get off here. You started screaming, I broke my fucking leg. I broke my fucking leg. And we're like, no.
Well, we thought he was exaggerating.
Yeah, we're like, dude, it's a tendon. Yeah. You didn't. How would you break your leg?
He didn't do anything. Yeah. All he did was lean over,
going for a ground
and
ball,
not catch the ball, and that's all.
I was running, but not very long.
It was one step. You took one step over, and then it was cross hand like that.
But it was a standard play.
And you went all the way to the ground. I was like, oh, he actually went for it. I was like, that's cool. Like, before the snap, it was like, oh, it wasn't like he went all out. It wasn't like that. It was like, oh, he actually leaned over for that ball enough to where he would go to the ground for it. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Pow. And then my fucking leg's broken.
And every single person,
like, what are you talking about?
No, don't worry, you're totally fine. And then we tried to move you, and it was agony. And we're like, maybe it is broken. I don't know.
No, we saw his thigh.
Oh yeah, then
dip.
your thigh. Yeah. Then your.
I remember seeing like a dip. I was like, oh. That's when we knew. I think.
And then we still call him to this day Jehovah Rapha, but it's Andy Nichols' friend. Started praying over Lunsford.
I was serious.
Did not want that at that moment. Prayer wasn't that healing that you were looking for, the pain relief you were looking for in that moment when you're.
No.
So
go ahead. Well, I was just going to say. So anyway, we were going to call the ambulance like normal people would in that situation. Lunsford was like, "Please don't call the ambulance. I don't have health insurance. It'll be unbelievably expensive." And so what did we find in what did we find in
the worst part was
so minimal to what it ended up being, by the way.
I know, like the least thing that would have mattered.
Back, I would have definitely got the end.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
I feel guilty about that. That's my fault. I mean, I actually experienced guilt in my life over that because I was the one. I said, I mean, okay. The only fact I have to clear up is it was not the way Devin says with his thigh there. It was completely everybody saying, surely it wasn't a leg. That was his knee. It was his knee. It's ACL. It's ACL. That was what. When we decided to not call an ambulance, we didn't think broken femur. That wasn't on anybody. That wasn't. We just said, well, his leg looks weird. Maybe he popped ACL. That was the temperature of it. Then, but I was definitely said, look, we could, are you sure you want to call ambulance? Are you sure? And then we waited. We spent a long time trying to figure out what to do because we were just broke tour people. So it was like, can you call the ambulance? What I don't know.
I do remember specifically we were all saying, maybe it's just a tendon. Maybe you pop something. Maybe it's that. But then we tried to move him.
Yeah.
After that. Yeah. And that's when I saw the leg sag. So, I think a few of us saw it. And we were like, that happened after we had him on the stretcher.
Yeah, but the stretcher.
That's what I'm saying. That was after we made the decision.
So Lunsford's laying in this field in Omaha in agony. And I think you had a little bit of shock, so the pain hadn't totally, but it started getting worse at that moment. And
sure.
We said, okay, we got to get him to the hospital. Somebody GPS to the hospital. We were like, how do we get him into the van? Because we couldn't move you. So we got our craps table that we made a homemade craps table that we play. Yeah, we have a casino on our bus back then, and the bands would come and gamble and all that stuff. So we got that and just moving you there was unbelievable. And you were already just starting to feel it. And then we got you in the back of a van. We took out the seats and put you in. So it was just you. And I said, I'll ride with Lunsford. And so I'm sitting beside Lunsford. And he's laying on this craps table in the back of an old van that was a Queens Club's van.
It was red felt covered craps table with all the stuff on it. So it shows up,
So the hospital is, I think, maybe 3 miles away. I mean,
that was it?
3 to 5 miles away. I promise you.
far.
I was like, oh, good. It's so close. We're going to be there quick. And so as soon as Jake Ryan, I don't know how old he was, but it seemed like a young kid. He's driving. He's a drummer at Queens Club. He is driving, and every bump, this is what I'm saying beside Lunsford. I said, Lunsford, it's going to be okay. Don't worry, man. This leg, I know, but we're going to get you to the hospital. I'm just trying to be so encouraging. Every single little bump thing like that, Lunsford go, fuck, shit. He's doing like that, and I'll go. So Lunsford, this is exactly what Jake heard. Jake's driving. Fuck, shit, slow down. Hey Jake, could you slow down a little bit? Lunsford said, I was trying to, even though Jake's hearing Lunsford cuss like that. Hey Jake, I know we're trying to get there. And then I saw train tracks going. I was like, oh no, and it was like, God damn! I was like, Jake, just take your time. Go. It took us almost 30 minutes to get there. I promise you, we were going so slow. It was unbelievable. So we finally do get there, and we get to the hospital. I hop out. We run in. We say, hey, we think our friend might have broke his leg or something. We don't know what's going on. We need help immediately. He's in agony. I was just like, he is in serious pain. If you have pain medicine, anything, immediately. We need super help. So the EMTs come out. It was like this one woman nurse, and she
had a wheelchair.
Yeah, with a
wheelchair.
You have to get out. And Lowe's like, I'm not getting out. My leg is fucking broken. And it was like, I was like, ma'am, there has to be a way to get him out of here without doing it. We don't know what's wrong with his leg. We don't.
She told me I needed to get myself out with my good leg and my arm and get myself in that wheelchair.
I was like, where are we?
I started to try to go up like that, and it just wasn't happening.
No, I know.
And then she sent 2 security guards out or something.
Right.
And they tried to pick me up. They just tried to pick me up.
Yeah.
Just me. And put me in the wheelchair.
Right.
And I was like, I started yelling at them to stop. I was like, just take this board I'm on and put it on a stretcher.
Right.
And she's like, we can't x-ray you on the plywood. I was like, figure that out later.
Right.
Like, let's just get out of the van first. Well, I'm worried about the x-ray. I'm still in the van. Let's get out of here first. And so,
well, I remember getting the picture. Was it later when did we get the picture? It had to be
It was later that evening.
That evening or the next day or something. But
because I saw it there.
Oh my gosh, we got the X-ray, and I mean your femur bone was overlapped. What, like 3 inches?
Yeah, it would look just like that. Like
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I can remember the guy. So I met the doctor. The doctor was kind of cool. He was the one cool person, but he was like, yeah. He said this is just crazy. Usually when somebody's femur breaks like this, it's like cancer or something real bad because femurs don't break. He was just like, they just don't break unless something. It has to be an unbelievable car wreck, massive impact, or like cancer. And he said, we don't see anything like that. He said, I guess it just happened. I was like, that, of course, to Lunsford, it just happened. Damnedest thing, but it's Lunsford.
It was unbelievable.
Oh boy! But one other side note: when we were riding in that van, it took so long. I remember telling Lunsford, I was like, maybe this. I was trying to be encouraging because he was in ag, and I was like, maybe this is a good thing. I think this is something. And I was thinking, like, because he was going through his annulment with his wife and all that stuff. And I was like, maybe
you told me this could be the best thing that ever happens to you. You go, Aaron, I know you don't want to hear this. I know you're in pain, but I truly believe God is telling me this is the best thing that could ever happen to you.
Now, was that kind of true? Did it end up being kind of true?
Sort of. I used, a few months later when I went out, was moving to California to do some music stuff, and I stopped in San Diego, and that's where I met Cassie, but as an icebreaker at a bar to talk to her, because I found out she worked in X-ray at a hospital. I showed her my X-ray pic. Nice. And that was how I got to buy her a beer that she didn't drink.
See, there you go.
See? So God works in mysterious ways, and he speaks through me.
And now she's fussing at me. She says I'm yelling. And I'm like, this is why I came outside.
Oh, I know. My wife always does that, too. That's why I'm over at Devin. She always says I'm yelling.
Oh.
Well, what was your tour story? We can tell that one.
Well, I just love this story so much. Okay, it happened last year, and it just is a couple weird fan interactions that just made me look real stupid, and the whole tour got a real good kick out. Not even like actually the rest of the tour, they were appalled at this story. They were like couldn't believe that I did these things or something. I think they thought I was bad. I don't know how funny they thought it was, but looking back, I think it's pretty funny. We were playing San Antonio, the White Rabbit, how it has the different rooms and stuff. Yeah. Like, you have like a little room, big room. There's multiple concerts going on at once. Yeah. We were playing the small room, the smallest room they have there at the White Rabbit, right? And we were headlining, and there's another big show going on. So there's just all sorts of people everywhere. And we're playing at the end of our show, the end of our, hour-long set on the last couple songs. And this guy, like, that I hadn't seen the whole show, he comes up into the very small crowd in the small room, and he's just like thrusting his like pelvis and like acting like crazy and drunk and stuff and screaming like, yeah, all this stuff, and dancing and gyrating and just being ridiculous. And I was like, this guy's so drunk, and like he doesn't even know who we are. He's from the other show, and he's just being an asshole, right? And I was getting real annoyed because it was like, the stage is so small. He's like 10 feet from me, and he's right in front of Cody too and TJ. I was like, this has got to be so distracting and awful. So I get off stage and I'm watching them, and now Cody is going to do The Widow, which is our sad song that sells all our t-shirts at the end of the show. Right. Yeah. And, it's about his dad who left and drugs and all that stuff. And people like cry during it and they sing along, and it's super quiet in the venue when it's going on. And this motherfucker is just up there still gyrating and screaming and all this stuff. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I got to do something because this is just bad. But I was like, but I don't work there, so I don't want to I'm not going to go get the guy and throw him out. So I go to the sound guy and I'm like, hey, do y'all have like security or something? Like this drunk guy is just like ruining the end of our show. Like this is like the most important song of the whole show. And he's like, I'll go talk to him. And so the sound guy walks up and he like puts his hand on the guy's shoulder and says something to him, and I just see the guy he just like his shoulders dropped, like, and he put his head down, and he was just like, he looked sad. Anyway, the sound guy comes back. I was like, what's up? And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I told him to chill out. Honestly, I think he's mentally handicapped or something.
That's what he said.
Really?
I tried to have a mentally disabled person bounce from our As Cities Burn show.
He was having so much fun.
Yes, he was having fun. He was not drunk.
Oh,
You know,
no.
I felt.
Oh,
I was like, I
God.
can't believe
Lunsford.
this. I can't. But how could you know at a show like
That's
Right.
so.
like how could you know? I promise it didn't seem like that. It didn't. It seemed like a drunk guy, and man, I felt so bad. And,
That's very Larry David of you.
Oh,
You know.
just wait. Hold up. Same night, same show, right? I'm standing at our merch table. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stand back here, sell some T-shirts, talk to people. I see a girl, a couple people back, and she is crying. Okay, and I'm like, this girl's crying. All right, this is weird. Anyway, she gets up to the front. She's crying. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, that was amazing, and I just needed that so much, and just thank you guys. I was like, but like, are you okay? Like she was bawling. And I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. You guys were amazing. Just thank you so much for coming and all that stuff. I was like, okay, but you're okay. Like, you're crying because of our show? She's like, yeah, it was just incredible. And I go, oh, okay. Well, I just, I was like, somebody die or something? And then she pauses and goes, I didn't go to the funeral. I came here.
She skipped the funeral for your show?
And I go,
Oh, no.
what? Somebody did die? She's like, my mother-in-law.
Oh, her mother-in-law, her husband's mother.
Yeah.
And she skipped that funeral to come to your show, which moved her to tears, but double tears that you didn't know about
Well, she
the
needed
other half of the source of the tears.
Nope, I didn't. And I made a joke about it before.
And you made a joke about it. Yeah.
She didn't want to
thought
talk about it. She kept saying, it's fine. No, you guys are just great. You like, kept
I thought-
pushing.
I thought somebody died. I didn't go to the funeral. Are you fucking kidding me?
Good Lord.
Wow.
Anyway, so she bought 3 T-shirts though.
Well, thank God for that. What show would it have to be for you not to go to your mother-in-law's funeral? Like, what show? I mean, there is no show.
No.
That's
No,
how she
I-
needed to deal with it, man. Think about it.
Either-
that was.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about a music experience, have you had a peak music experience before, where the moment and the song and it was just
Right.
they were intertwined as an important moment of your life? That was one for her.
Yeah.
A very, very emotionally charged moment fused with music to a level of musical ecstasy that you couldn't imagine in that situation that she experienced, right?
Yeah.
Until you
Yeah. Yeah.
came along.
No, I mean,
Made a
you know.
joke about her dead mother-in-law
yeah.
and pointed out that she was a bad relative.
Yeah. The Kirby Enthusiasm like parallels there. It just blew my mind because people have been telling me that I was Costanza since like, college, like early college. And it's incredible the situations I find myself in just like that, where I try to get Cassie to watch that show with me and she won't because she says it's like watching a reality TV show of her life. She's not laughing the whole time we're watching it. She's staring at me like disturbed.
It's too real. It hits too close to
That's
home.
funny.
Yeah.
Wow, those were great.
Yeah.
Man, that is just.
Our tour stories are hard, but I think those are not bad.
Yeah.
No, those are great.
I'll
Those
keep them.
Well, you want to play another
Play
song?
one?
Aaron, you can hang out if you want to. Just chill.
Yeah, I'll hang out a few more minutes.
Can you put the lyrics up for me?
Say what now?
The lyrics up.
Oh,
Yeah, Joey whispered to, right.
I have to
gonna
put the
whisper,
lyrics
you
on the
should
screen,
Put the
and they
lyrics
are
on the screen.
massive.
Well, okay. So normally I don't. This is we're doing Butcher's Mouth, and normally Josh screams this part. So I just didn't. I'm gonna sing this part, and I just am worried I was gonna forget just the bridge of this song. But yeah, also the words are as big as you could possibly get them because I'm going blind. So yeah, we'll see.
All right.
We continue.
I think so.
I've got a way of finding out what you said, but I want to hear it
From the butcher's mouth.
I've got a way of freaking out all your friends when I'm to talking out loud, but it ends me when I can tell that I've become the person I can't take.
I hate
A person so much. I've got a way.
Genocides with reckless pride, feasting on the well.
I've got
This
a
little
way.
brick by brick is turned upon itself.
Your broken record, repeating these vanities over and over again. You find your words and make them work for you. And trust me, people
will drink them in.
the absence of a witness. No one to see this. It's your affection
For self-obsession.
and agree. But now it's back to your
Back to your knees.
I've got a
Genocide with reckless pride,
way.
feasting on the well.
I've got a
This
way.
little brick by brick is turned upon itself.
Your broken record, repeating these vanities over and over, the same old story. Throw yourself a pity party, pulling each and every heartstring. We brought you here, we brought you here. No one will come to your defense. Let's break that smile off your face, taking time to save the place when names are of no use. And ridiculous answers will find their sleep, and you will find your sleep too. I've got a
Genocides with reckless pride,
way.
feasting on the well.
I've got a
This
way.
little brick by brick is turned upon itself.
Your broken record, repeating these vanities over and over again.
Okay, the burn ban is over. Light them up with fire emojis.
Light them up, fire. Wildfires. Okay.
I want to see some ash.
That was
Shake your
good.
ash.
That was good. I don't ever get those words normally. We play that song live all the time, but I don't normally get the words because they're
on the
screaming,
chorus?
you know.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
The
yeah,
bridge,
on the
you
bridge.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool to hear. That was good. And the tonality was interesting of that. The
Yeah, it's
chord
different.
was that way.
Yeah.
I wish we had a good recording of that. That's it. I've got all these stacked up now that I feel like I want to do of the ones that we've done in one take that I feel like, man, you could just put a little bit more to it. It would be really, you know, like some of the takes you've done that are the lead vocals there. I was telling Devin, like the one you did last week, you could just take the guitar that's there and just take it out and put some little drums and keyboard under it, and your vocal take's already complete.
Nice.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
actually, you had to do the whole art form of deliver that take, and then you just take the guitar away and you've already completed the main
Yeah.
thing. But still have to go back and do the other part of the production. But there's more songs I want to do than ones going forward. But in any case, very, very happy to be getting to the end of this record. So we'll talk about this song, and then I guess we can talk about moving forward after that. But yes,
Dad doesn't like ever saying the name of this song. He didn't want to say it on the
I-
podcast today. What's the name of this song,
it's,
Matt?
it's
Say the whole
Yeah,
title.
just say the whole title of this song that you helped write and produce and all that.
Yeah, no,
stuff.
it's you think you're. I don't know if it's you're thinking. I try to think if it's a posture.
Like it's some kind of barrier. You don't like it or something.
Yeah. I like it. It's just it's an endeavor to start at the beginning and think I'm going to get to the end of it. It's because I can't. It's not digestible in us. You know what I'm saying? It's a sentence. It's not a. So I have to think about it, and so I just am hesitant. Like the way you don't say somebody's name, even though it's Brandon.
Right? Yeah.
Right. It's just like that. It's like that song. Anyway, on the song tonight is just what I want to do.
Right.
You think you're nickel slick, but I got your penny change.
There we go.
There it is.
Is the name of the song. Okay.
Isn't that from like Big Mama's House or something?
It was Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
You think you're nickel slick, but I got your penny change. When he was Big Mama. Big Mama is a very underrated comedy, I think.
Somebody find that clip. I don't know if anybody.
Yeah, we need to find that clip. But it's a very serious song, and the title was serious, and the working title was pretty serious. And so we're like, hey, let's lighten this up a little bit, And we started naming some of the songs on I'm Only a Man a little different than normal, like the party song, the movie song. We just kind of had some Don't Bore Us, get to the chorus. So we're like, let's just make some of these a little bit more lighthearted, even though the content is kind of heavy. So I think it turned out cool. But yeah, it's kind of just, I don't think of the song as the full title, really either. More than anything, it's probably just, you just call it Nickel Slick or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure we've ever played this live, have we?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe ever?
No, it's a weird song in the catalog as far as it, it came. I couldn't really even get my mind on exactly when we wrote it because it was in the time just right before we did I'm Only a Man, and we never picked it up for any reason. And I haven't listened to that album a ton. So it's like it's something like a lost song. And that's not a lost song, but it's one that very rarely shows up for me. And I remember we put it together in Dave Powell's basement, though, in Indiana.
Yes, his parents' basement.
In Dave's parents' basement is where we were working on the idea, but I can't remember where the idea came from, even. Do you?
Yeah, I think I had. Well, I mean, I just think I had a couple parts and for the song, and then we just kind of threw it together, and I think we recorded the demo drums there, right?
Yeah, but we did something like that song we put together a lot. Like we did a lot. Put it together in person.
The demo is somewhere, right? It's on something. Like it's on a B-side or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I have no idea where, though.
Somebody might can find it out there.
Oh, yeah, maybe that is somewhere. And so, so it was a weird song in that way. And what I liked about the song the most at the time was the guitar. Like the way I was playing the guitar, I thought was neat because there was just a delay or something, and there was something in that I was really liked. And then this is what I think is fascinating about where we are as of today. But the guitar part was the main thing for me about it, and I don't like the guitar part that was on the song. I realized when I came back to do it and start doing it, I could feel myself not wanting to play it. I couldn't put my finger on why. Eventually, I arrived at a logic of why, of just thinking of the sound textures and something like that, but something was off about it. So we did this arrangement. I thought it'd be fun to try to do it with no guitar. And so this version of it is an updated version, and it came out really neat. So Chris Keene and I both played on it and collaborated. We talked about it a bunch. And I think ultimately I'm going to put some guitar on it, but it's not here tonight. But I think it'll just be more ambient in a couple of the spots where things are missing. But this arrangement is the most different one we've done. Isn't it? Yeah, this is the most one that has this a little bit slides differently and has a different feel to it in some ways than the album version. So that's my framing for it. But I don't know if you want to talk about the song or what else.
Yeah, I don't have to, but yeah, it's just I mean, it was one of those songs that I think it came out pretty early in the writing process for I'm Only a Man, and it just an idea that I had, and I honestly liked the guitar part you did. Personally,
I like it too.
But there was a lot of different kind of sections of the song, which I guess is kind of Emery-esque, but it was, there's like kind of, I don't know, 4 or 5 different type of sections in the song. And so the guitar just did a lot of different types of things. Like the beginning sounds a little bit progressive, like rock, rock progressive kind of stuff. And then there's like a part that kind of reminds me of the Strokes a little bit. Yeah. So it's kind of bounces all over the place.
Stylistically, yeah, it wasn't. I couldn't think of it as cohesive in a way.
Right.
And so what we wound up with here is like got such a cohesive vibe across it, the way the piano carries it. And here's what's really fun about it is it's 2 basses and 3 bass synths. But
that's insane.
Yeah. And but no guitar. So there's piano, but now there's piano left and right. So there's 2 pianos. It's like a high and a low piano, just separate the hands. So there's pan piano, and then in a lot of sections it's panned distorted basses, and then there's bass synths too that glide and do all kind of fun stuff. And then there's a little bit of strings and a couple other layers that make it's got this dreamy, silky thing. And it took Devin's voice on it came out with a slightly different, slidier, smoother kind of tone that really sounds like really cool to me as Devin's mature, even more so. You know what I mean? Like everybody likes that edge of Devin when he goes right to the edge, but it's also smooth still. Like that's, and so to me, instead of pushing over trying to make this a heavy song, it's a Devin slipping, sliding over the landscape. Right, so that's why now the song feels all of a sudden is a game changer. Now it's not a purity thing about guitar. I think I'm going to add something with the guitar, but I was excited that it wound up feeling cohesive and with no guitar. So
yeah.
It was fun for me just on the I did that little 3-part harmony there, which made me kind of happy. And then the end, I added a little bit of something that y'all ended up liking. I didn't even know if y'all would like it. So this one was fun for me to experiment a little bit too. Like we did that a little bit here and there, but this one, I think since we haven't played it live and isn't like you said, it's not a lost song, but it's one that just kind of gets pushed to the back. It was kind of fun to experience this one again, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. And someone was kind of talking about the meaning, and I don't have to go into all this, but I just kind of, again, I'm Only a Man was full of stories that had nothing to do with me personally or even someone I knew at the time. But I kind of had this idea of a guy and a girl who she got pregnant and they decide to get an abortion, and then he takes her there basically, but then he regrets it and he kind of resents her for doing it. And so it kind of messes up their
what'd you say?
Relationship.
No, they're just talking about this stuff. Wait,
don't mind us.
Hey, do whatever you got to do.
No,
Devin's just talking about something super dark.
No, I'm just talking about like a real serious topic and cut your,
Yeah.
No, I had it muted and then unmuted it to mute it.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, so it's a serious topic, but reason, but because it's a kind of a darker kind of feel lyrically, we decided to make it as dumb as possible for the video.
Yeah.
So like Toby said earlier, okay, so there's multiple layers to this, but we started the BC 69 health challenge on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. So on
Friday.
Oh, Friday. Sorry.
So
on Thursday, I went to Champaign. I met up with Toby. We went to 9 different fast food restaurants and got food at each one and had to eat at least a few bites of whatever we got. And we filmed it for this super serious song. And so this video is just us eating food.
So it's really funny because you'll see, but we went to like all the restaurants, fast food restaurants you can think of, but we went pretty early too. So like we had just eaten Dunkin' Donuts and then we're eating Doritos Locos Tacos like 5 minutes later. And then McDonald's and Sonic, Culver's, everything. Now here's what you didn't know. Well, you did know one of these. So we ate that way, and afterwards I was already like, golly. I mean, we Little Caesars Pizza, all this stuff. I mean, 9 different restaurants taking several bites.
Right.
We shouldn't have. I told myself in the beginning one bite, but I was like, oh man, this Doritos Loco Tacos good. Man, this chili dog from Sonic is actually pretty amazing. So I wasn't feeling that great. I was just like, I feel stuffed. I probably won't eat later. And then Devin and I order massive Chinese food for dinner. And then I didn't tell you this. On the way home, I went to Dairy Queen.
Not worth it.
I got a large dip cone. I ate the whole damn thing.
Oh, man.
So I went to 12 different restaurants in one day.
That's amazing. So this does tie up a very Emery thing to do now that we're playing in extra dimensions outside of the music itself is to take a serious song, make a goofy video, and then, experience it in a format like this. I mean, usually we like to do stuff like that, and people don't really appreciate it, but that's part of what we do that we like to do, is make people a little bit irritated about the combinations of things, and sometimes they learn to love and appreciate things they didn't think went together. And so it's just kind of like making something more complicated. At least something interesting can come out of that.
Most bands would take a direction, and they would go that direction as far as they could go.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if it's a super serious song and really dark, they go as dark, as serious as possible for video, for everything. And that's what people like. And we just do the opposite of that.
Right.
Most times. So anytime we feel like we're getting too serious, we got to take a left turn or right turn, and you just have to. I don't know why. It's just the way we are.
It's funny too, this video made it, a little bit of it too reminded me, because one of the things, some people might remember this, but one of the things we kind of were known for is doing blowouts at the end of tours.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what it was like. It was like, how much can you eat? How much can you stuff in your fat face? And that's what we did. So let's play it. I haven't even seen the finished product here, but it should be neither.
Well, you can pop off. I just sent Reva the mix right before we started to sync the video on the final mix, and she hit me back. I was out running in a break, and she said, there's no piano here. It was muted, so I had to come back, bounce it again. And so she just got it up, so I had to load it right now. So if it errors in loading, I just downloaded it a minute ago. So hot off the presses. You think you're nickel slick, but I've got your penny change. Here we go. I'll have to make it go full screen. Here we go.
Our first stop, Dunkin' Donuts.
But I'm just a tired man with these tired hands of mine. Wake up, baby, it's time for us to leave. You're just a little girl in your lonely world with me. So let's go. Is bleeding as you start believing that what you're doing's not for you. There's no mistaking the life that you're taking. So kill the inconvenient truth. So let's go. You're driving.
Was that was $98?
It was something
was,
like
yeah,
that.
it was a lot.
I mean, it was a pretty good bit of. I mean, we bought a lot.
We had our kids with us too, so we were like passing them food in the back. That recording turned out really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, I saw a couple people say they wish they could hear a guitar, but
they can. They just
mostly
go. There's one. You just listen to the other one.
Right.
The original.
Oh yeah, just listen to the other.
You have it.
One of the coolest things I think on the entire remake album is the bass line that Chris does on that one part.
Yeah.
That you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what part it's called. The intro and then it repeats. It's just amazing. He just does unreal bass line.
Chris is I don't want everybody to find out about him.
Yeah, he's a killer.
But Chris is the best. There's something that Chris Keene and Aaron Sprinkle have that I don't know, and there's just nobody else. That's a category of two. And they don't have all the same skills, but something that Chris can hear and do immediately. Like he does things in his work that aren't. It's not like he thinks about a guitar part. You can tell he listens, hears the sound, and makes the sound, and he puts it in. Like the way he arranges is so fascinating. Sorry, smoke, fires. You got it. Too many fire emojis.
Yeah.
But the way Chris is able to do arranging kind of on the fly as he's recording, it's just like Sprinkle. You can do magic in a very short period.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It just comes out
great.
Yeah. So thank you to Chris Keene for that. Now we have to check the tips. We got a test press to give away. Anybody can order this vinyl. And as we know, we have our biggest challenge ahead of us, and we've been warming up for it.
Yeah.
And now we have got to get every bit of the next one. Is Crib to Coffin.
Yeah.
Which is an epic song by any, in our
Emery's
catalog or
song.
whatever.
Oh yeah, 10 minutes ish.
Yeah, something.
But that song has evolved and it's not as long anymore. So.
How much shorter did you make it?
I didn't make it any shorter.
2.5 minutes.
I'm saying we played the song a lot since we recorded it, and the song itself has become shorter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
and we're going to capture
Dave's drum tracks are shorter.
Yes, they are. The drum tracks that we have are the way that we play this song now live.
Cool.
Which is a version that has evolved too, which is it's not way different. So don't worry about anybody, but there's less repeats of things and stuff like that. It moves down the road faster.
Yeah.
But everything that's in this one, I think it's going to be about. I think we're going to do all the same stuff. It'll be the same arrangement and make sure to get everything, all the things that are focused. But there's a bunch of little weird stuff in there that may not be there. But all the things that you like and note choices probably, and that we'll get it. It's the way we play it live, and it's more powerful. Like once the song's gotten to evolve, kind of thing. We built that one as like a Frankenstein in the studio the first time, just to make that big epic thing. And it was really synthetic the way we kind of put it together. It wasn't like a song we ever performed. And so then we got to go out and play it because it was really popular and worked. So the song got to really evolve to what really felt natural because we make small choices over time. So this is really the cherry on top for me is the idea that I know how this song really is now in the real world, and now we just have to go back and capture that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the end of the of this experiment, but it is very challenging. And so y'all got to make a video, and you're going to actually try to go make a less funny one here.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons we wanted to do a funny one because we figured Crib to Coffin is going to be a more serious. I mean, we can't really do a cut up, eat everything video for that one. So, yeah, we filmed some tonight, and we'll film a few more times here and see if we can make something good and sad and real. Devin's challenged me to actually cry and see if the people will cry. So if I can make you cry next week, we'll have you got a tip. If you
really
cry next week at me crying.
This is like the end of the semester final project.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
It's the final exam.
All right. Well, do we have a top tipper tonight?
Yeah, looks like we got one just came in. The Day 9082. The Day 9082.
The Day one?
Yeah, I think it just showed up.
Hey, Day Day.
So you're gonna get a what are they called? The test press.
Yeah.
I'm Only a Man test press.
Signed by me and you.
Signed. So we'll be having those again. We won't have those till like late November, but we'll be shipping all that stuff out.
Yeah. Lunsford, you should print your femur photos and sign them and see if you can sell them for $3.
They, one of them you can see my dick in it.
Come on, good Lord!
What? I didn't take it. It was the doctor. Come on.
But the sad thing is, it was broken too. Good Lord, son! We can fix your femur, but I've never seen that.
I mean, you know, when it goes to the knee, it's gonna be in a X-ray pic of your femur.
That's true. That's true.
Well, thanks for hanging out, Lunsford.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to do it.
If
Thanks
anybody
during Devin's speech,
yeah, that was the best part. The mute. I mean, there's going to be so much of that. I'm surprised there's not more funny videos of it. But I guess they don't look real. People think they're fake or something. But that happens every day, like all the time. Like unmuted stuff. People must have just heard so much terrible.
I'm pretty disappointed.
Husband and wives yelling and stuff.
We did a Zoom call the other night with the largest group of people I've ever done it with.
Yeah.
And all I could think about the whole time was I'm watching a TV show. So I think there has to be a TV show or a internet show or whatever that's just Zoom call.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah, we're basically
I think it's going to be the new thing, and I think it will be very funny. I think you can make it like The Office or something. It's just Zoom call.
But they do written performances in it, like it's a production.
Oh yeah, it's like it's a production.
Yeah, I
agree.
Did
y'all see they just did Fast Times at Ridgemont High like that on a Zoom call, and they had all the celebrities and Shia LaBeouf. Oh my God,
he was doing that on purpose, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he was like, what do they call it?
Spicoli.
Yeah. So his character, but he was doing I'm sorry, he was like drugged up for the character and all that stuff, right? So, but yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think there'll be some real innovation in that kind of thing. Does anybody out there, while we're here, and we can drop off whatever, but on Crib to Coffin, as I think about doing it, which I think we have no problem doing it in a week. It could be delayed if there was a problem. I don't think there will be. But what are the parts about it that you like the most? What are the highlights of that song? You might as well put that in the chat, and that'll be nice for me to look at going forward to go do it. So do that. But y'all go ahead and talk about it, everyone. I just wanted to see if anybody had, because Mitch put a couple things in there, and I thought that was helpful. So anybody else have opinions on that song? I'm listening.
All right. Well,
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you, folks. Thanks for all the tipping. It helps us pay for fast food. Our fast food bill. We owe people money. So we appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Crib to Coffin and a sad video. If not, we'll just have other music and fun stuff.
We'll be back, and we'll just, if worst case scenario, it's a part of a progress, or it's not complete.
Yeah. We'll show some of it. We'll show Cool. Lunsford, thank you for joining us.
All right, bye.
Bye. I love you.
Ooh.
See y'all.